All right, hey everybody, welcome out to the second episode of Bumpkin and Pals, trademark. My name is Mr. Space, joined by
Gator.
Hey, it's Pyro Spartan again.
And it's Drizzle.
And I think on this here podcast, we're going to try to bring it down a couple pegs.
Yes.
And we're going to try to, already with the talk, we're going to try to, 1, appreciate each other's opinions. 2, not talk over our dear friends. And 3, bring some good old-fashioned, serious, down-to-earth comedy and insight that you have been sorely lacking in your life.
Comedy. Insight.
Ooh. Sounds like Homer Simpson.
It's all a tall order right there.
Comedy. Wow.
I'm just gonna drink until it all stops.
Yeah.
You're drinking water.
They didn't have to know that.
Well, I'm telling them that. So.
Hydration's important.
Hydration is very important. So, who has gotten a Switch?
I think I'm the only one
Yep.
who gave enough shits about it. But the thing was, whenever it first came out, they were selling like hotcakes. And leading up to the pre-orders, everyone's like, you should just pre-order it so you can get one. I said, no, that's stupid. I'm not going to spend, $20 to pre-order it. And then, hard cut to 2 months later when I still can't find one anywhere. And,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you were looking around.
And I got scammed by Amazon because there was one for $350. It's like, I jumped on it. And then I tried to email the guys like, hey, I never ordered from a third party, so I'm kind of worried. What can you tell me? I get no response.
Yeah.
3 days pass, I'm like, hey, it says it's shipped, but I can't get the billing address. What's up? No response. I'm like, I'm going to call Amazon. And I got my refund. And that day, after I had my refund, went to Best Buy, bought a new Switch, and it is the dopest handheld I've ever used.
I have gotten to play it a little bit, and I absolutely fucking love it.
Yeah.
If I could run all the games I have on my computer on it, that would make it instantly one of my favorites.
Well, the thing I'm hoping for with the Switch is more ports from different systems, because they said they're going to have a lot more third-party support, so I'm hoping more genres.
Yeah.
And then more JRPG stuff, because I'm all done with the Japanese culture.
So you're saying you want them to switch it up a bit?
All right. Well, this has been the podcast.
Yeah. I've contributed. I can go home now.
That's Drizzle's comedy out of 10. Man, we need to bring it up to about a 17.
Yeah.
We need you to step up your game a little bit.
Ooh, A+. Good job.
Oh, cool stickers for everyone.
But the console itself has a lot of good games. I've been having a lot of fun with Mario Kart and Zelda, which that's what you buy if you have a Switch.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it.
And I was about to say, but I guess you already kind of pitched it out, was convince me or somebody else who does not have a Nintendo Switch yet. Convince me why I should get it.
Like why you should buy this instead of like an Xbox or PS4?
Yeah, because I just have the Xbox 360 still. And I've been thinking,
Same.
the thing is, I don't have a lot of time to play video games or anything like that, but excuse me.
Sorry.
Rude.
What the fuck?
So, but yeah, sorry, I got thrown off.
No, we all did.
So I've been thinking about upgrading, even though I don't do too much. But why should I get a Switch?
Okay.
Because peer pressure. That's why.
First of all, my man, I'll answer you in a second. Drizzle, you come in here, lay down a shitty joke, and then you interrupt his train of thought.
It was by accident.
The audacity.
I'm taking your fucking phone.
Hey.
So
Get off your damn phone.
for the reason I would say Switch over an Xbox or PS4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if the most important thing for you is games, the Switch is awesome because you can take a portable and you can do all this cool stuff. But the thing the Switch doesn't have yet is it doesn't have its virtual console, which is pretty much all the old Nintendo games on a back library. You can just play whatever, like
Right.
Link to the Past. Like, they don't have that yet on the Switch. And they don't have other apps like Netflix or Hulu and that kind of stuff.
That's what I was wondering.
So right now, it's probably not frugal for you to get a Switch if the main thing you want to use your console for is like watching TV and stuff.
That's what I usually do. I usually do like YouTube or Netflix or something. Like that's what I mainly use my Xbox 360 for.
Right.
And it works out well.
But they plan to have updates coming out sometime during the winter to fix
yeah.
stuff.
By the way, here in a minute, I want to go off on a tangent about having the phone out when you shouldn't. But let's finish up this conversation first.
So, a big thing
Coming down hard.
I
on
will
my
say
dude.
about
No, it's not about him.
a big thing I will say about that is, like, I would totally get a Switch. I have a 360. I love my 360, but I just don't have the time to invest in all those games right now. And, having a laptop, I don't know if you have a laptop or a desktop.
I have a laptop.
You could totally just hook up your laptop to your TV and run Netflix and YouTube off of that.
Yeah, but I don't like the idea of that. Like, I don't know. For me, it's easier. Like, I could do that, and I do have the equipment to do that. And in fact, with Netflix, I can just do it straight from my TV, but it's easier to control through my Xbox 360.
Yeah,
than doing that. It's easier. It's just a lazy thing.
I feel also that Gator is making a good point of, I'm not going to pay $300 for a device that can't do what I want it to do on my main screen TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that feels like a waste to have it not be able to do what something I already have does.
Yeah, and my thing is still going. It's still kicking. So,
Yeah,
it
no red
works out
ring.
good.
Yeah.
But no, really quick tangent, really quick story. Did y'all hear about the woman who was sued for taking out her phone on the first date?
Oh, I
what?
did. I saw that.
Wait,
So
wait,
there
I
was
didn't
this-
hear, like, what'd you say?
On the first what?
First date. So there was
Oh.
there was this guy and this woman that met up through Bumble, and they went to the movie
Bumble.
theater. I'm not even kidding about this. Bumble, okay, so Bumble is a dating app. By the way, any guys out there who are interested in dating apps, check this app out.
It's the buzz of the internet.
That was a high five.
So Bumble
Or
is-
slap.
Yeah, could have easily been.
Schrodinger's hit.
But Bumble is an app for dating where you swipe left, swipe right, whatever. But the girls have to make the first move.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, so
I heard
anyways,
that.
yeah. This couple, or this, I'll say couple, these two people met on there. And they went to a movie theater to watch Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. And the tickets were $17.31 each.
Oh, man.
At towards 5 to 10 minutes during the movie, into the movie, the girl takes out her phone to text her friend who was asking her if she had made it to the place okay, how
Right.
the date was going. The girl pulled out her phone to text, and the guy was like, "Hey, you shouldn't be on your phone in here." And he was trying to be like, "Hey, I know people get kicked out of here for stuff like that." And he was getting on to her about taking her phone out and texting. And so she gets up and she says, "Hey, I'm gonna go out real quick. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go out and make this phone call. I'll be right back." She never came back.
Whoa.
And so he finds her on Facebook, or no, he texts her. I don't know. Somehow he communicated with her, and he goes, "I'd like my $17.31 back." And she goes, "No, I'm not gonna give it to you." He's like, "Please, let me have it back, or give it back to me, or I'll have to go through other means to get it back." And she says, "No." So he sues her for $17.31. And they, on Inside Edition, they met up, and she paid $17.
Oh my God.
And he counted it in front of her. He's like, "Okay, let's count
Wow.
this to make sure it's all here."
Wait, see, on one hand, I'm thinking, it's $17 for a movie ticket. Where are you going to watch this movie?
Exactly.
Because,
Movies
I
are
mean,
expensive nowadays.
yeah, I mean, heck, other places here where it's $5 for a movie ticket, I'm like, that's fine. Then, other places $10, I'm like, that's pushing it. But $17, so the movie watch itself? Is it a commentary? What's happening there? What are they giving you? What's happening there?
Well, I could go to a bunch of political reasons why movie prices are probably high nowadays, but I'm not going to. But anyways, yeah, so y'all didn't hear about that story?
No, that's
No.
fine.
I totally have.
Yeah, well,
It's-
yeah, you did, yeah.
It's one of my favorite stories on the internet because it's just
It was funny.
you pulled out your phone, and he's just like, he's
She
trying to
was,
be a good person.
It was valid though. Her friend was want to know, hey, was everything okay? But he just kind of freaked out.
Well, the thing about it is, if you're on a first date like that and something bad goes wrong, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Oh, and in the lawsuit he put she's helping the downfall of society or something.
Wow.
Like that. But for
God
me,
bless.
Quick little side note. Yeah, this happens. So the
Yeah.
world's dying now.
But
There's
for
people
me,
like you.
if something goes wrong on a date, whether I do it wrong or the other person does it wrong, don't call it out and embarrass the person right away. Just be just take some time away after that first date, and then talk and see if you want to have a second date. and say, you know,
Then
hey.
afterwards, like bring it up like, hey, so you brought your phone now?
Yeah, you don't need to make a big deal and be a diva about it in the middle.
I mean, go on national TV and be like, hey, why? Give me my money.
I think it.
So, you go ahead, man.
No, you first. You started.
When the woman's leaving, like, because her friend's talking to her, like, even if she said, "Hey, I gotta go, my friend needs me," that dude would have been like, "No." That if you hear that as a guy, you know, no matter if that's true or not, you feel like you're being ditched, right?
Right.
So, I think she should have been less shitty about it, or at least said, "Hey, I'm sorry I couldn't do this. What if we went on a second date and I, you know, paid for it?" Unless, like, we might not know the connotation. Like, they might have showed up together and he might have, like, just stared straight at her chest, like, "Those are titties that you have." Like, we don't know how much of a creep this guy is.
Yeah.
Second point, what fucking lawyer has the time to deal with a $17 suit? Like, how much did he pay the lawyer?
That's what I'm wondering.
Did he get $7 out of it?
I think it was like a matter of principles. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to be wrong. I want this to happen now. You know, like I want to be in the right. So I'm thinking it's gonna happen.
Is being a right worth, you know, all that time in one Hamilton?
To that guy, it was.
I guess.
What are we doing? I mean, Pyro.
Bleep that.
Yeah. What are we doing, Pyro?
I got my computer here because I'm using it to record the podcast. I was actually going to look up that lawsuit.
The wording and
Yeah.
the jargon of it. Yeah, but anyways, I just thought it was funny, and I don't know. I don't know if it's the first time. I'm sure it's not the first time that something like this has happened, but it certainly got attention.
I've been on a first date before where her friends show up, and she's like, we're excited to see her friends. She starts talking to her friends, and to me, I'm like, oh, so I'm not a priority. I'm not going to freak out about it. I'm not going to be like, "You better talk to me. I paid for your sketty and meatballs. Now listen here." What it is that if they don't want to make you a priority in that moment, cut your losses. I mean, you spent $17. Like,
Well, if
at
you
least
think,
you had to
think
try
of
to
it
put
another
your
way,
feet
it's
in.
like if she bring her friends, like I'm on a date with 3 people. Gotta look at it kind of positively.
Yeah, she looks at you like, "Hey, do you got $17.50 for my friends here too?"
It's like that's a nope.
All right, what you got on the deets, Pyro? Because you seem pretty pleased with yourself.
Yeah, you seem.
I'm very upset that this happened in Round Rock.
What's wrong?
Of course,
It's right by Austin.
Yeah.
It's where we went and got those like massive donuts.
Those donuts make me go nuts, bitch.
Oh, those are amazing. Round Rock donuts, go. Anyway, so yep, $17.31. Filed the claim. 37-year-old man. He met the woman.
37.
Dang.
37. And they went to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in 3D.
Okay, there's a price jump reason.
Well,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then she refused because he took her out on a date. Like, that was her reason. She's like, "No, I'm not paying back. It was a date."
yeah, that's kind of fair. It's like, hey, you offered to do it.
Now I'm swinging back to on his side now because that's expecting. I think she's being a sexist.
So, okay, hold on.
Everyone like with a 10-foot pole. No one's touching that.
Yeah. I just want to be careful about where we go with that.
So,
Not to say that you're not wrong.
in his words, he says the 35-year-old woman refused to stop texting. When he suggested she step outside to text, she left the theater and never returned. According to the paper, Cruz, whoever they are, paid the money back Thursday after the producers of the television show Inside Edition asked her to meet the dude outside the movie theater. He asked his supporters on Twitter, who is this guy that has all these Twitter supporters? Hey, donate $17.31 to charity. I put a lot on the line to try to make all this texting stop.
What?
That's what he says right here.
Why just 1731?
I am. You know what? I'm
Why?
nowadays you
I am
don't really
Brandon
do much
Besmar.
to like get on the internet. Just do something stupid that and just.
This guy's asking everybody to stand in solidarity with him by donating like a specific amount to charity.
No, my man.
Really
He
not
wants
even
Twitter
that
to
much.
take him on a date.
Yeah.
Somebody get this guy a date. Like, I'm sure there's a girl out there willing to date this guy.
Get one of those big giant anime pillows with the people on it.
My man.
So-
$17.50. That can buy you a waifu.
Yeah, there you go.
So the big reason I actually opened up my computer, because I usually have my computer closed, is
I was about to say, you got onto him for being on his phone, then you pull open your laptop.
well, I wanted to see sort of the facts on that story, kind of where it happened. Obviously, $17 3D movie, but I also had the thought of what is the smallest amount of money somebody has been sued for?
Oh, I'm sure it's like a cent.
Oh my god, I'm sure it's some dude like for a half pack of cigarettes.
Let's do prices right on this. Okay, I say a cent.
Okay, well, what's the point?
It's wait. It's without going over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Hold up, don't say anything.
Don't say anything.
I would say that the lowest amount ever sued for, $5.
We'll go with a buck.
There's no way someone's that petty. Then again, 20 minutes ago, I wouldn't say
Well,
someone would sue for $17.
I wouldn't look on Yahoo Answers, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna look.
Yeah, screw Yahoo Answers, dude.
Yeah, at least get your boy
It
Jeeves to
popped
answer the
up.
question.
Yeah, it's Jeeves.
it literally popped up.
Does that still exist? Ask Jeeves.
That's Jeeves. Jeeves is out of business right now.
Oh, no.
Ask his tombstones, basically.
Ask Jeeves how to find a new job.
Ask Jeeves how to get the Yahoo Answers.
Well, if Yahoo Answers is the only thing, then fine. But
No,
I'm saying,
like I can go to the small claims court guide.
Gonna be behind a paywall for information.
all right, what did you
Okay.
say?
I said $5.
He said,
I said a buck.
"Dang it, you might get it."
I'm thinking because
Without going
at first
over.
I was thinking 17 cents, but I thought that's too close to your penny, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for $1. See what.
He goes 2 cents.
So
That'll show you.
you're closest without going over. So
Isn't there like a
according
limit
to-
before they're like, this is stupid,
Oh,
get
this is-
out?
this is
We'll just give you,
California.
I'll just like
Fuck
pay you out
California.
of my pocket.
Let's see.
Well, it's a state.
Ask
too.
a lawyer, freeadvice.com.
No,
No.
we don't need to be contacting lawyers on this
No.
podcast.
Yeah, maybe we can pay him the 1731. I mean, let's just ask Twitter. Apparently, they can handle it.
You know what? Let's just go on and go on with the podcast.
The thrilling conclusion will happen later.
Let's see.
So, I feel like
God.
if I was in the same situation as this guy, and we have no idea how much of a creep this guy is, but to say it's a date, I feel like more time should have been spent. Like, you don't know what they did before, if they ate before, if they had just gone to the movie. It would suck if she
I
just
think
showed
they
up
did eat.
if she just showed up and met him and then jetted. That shitty, but if they already ate and everything, I guess I could kind of more see in her shoes.
Well, here's the thing.
Depends on how crappy the date
this
was.
is totally like. Well, this is totally like not even. I don't know. I think it's a moot point. I think it's a terrible idea to make your first date going to a movie theater. And I
Yeah.
used to do that. Taking a date to a movie theater until somebody like opened my eyes to it. Like taking a date to a movie theater, like the positive of it is they get used to being around you, but the negative and truly like the bad thing about it
Huge
is
negative.
they don't get to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't get to talk to them.
they're discouraged
like-
from talking to you.
Yeah. And so it's like, I mean, I could understand it from the viewpoint of, hey, you know, I don't know you. Let's sit down and be near each other.
Hey!
Hey, we're recording.
Did you see the sign? The on air. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
No, but
sorry to interrupt this live broadcast brought to you by Domino's Pizza.
Domino just walked in.
oh, the
Domino
actual
just
giant
walked
domino
in.
with a face and like legs walked in.
Nah, it's our good buddy, handy dandy little panda.
Where's my goddamn cheeseburger?
Oh, is that his pseudonym?
No,
It can
that's
be.
just his actual name. Like if you look at his birth certificate, it says handy dandy little panda.
No, but
Welcome
yeah.
to America.
No, but I definitely see like, you know, maybe going on the movie, like to go see a movie because like, you know, it's gonna come up like, oh, I want to see a movie with you. Maybe like second, third, or fourth date, you know, but
So-
not the first one.
Not the first one, yeah, because you don't get to know them.
Yeah.
Man,
You only
we
need
went
to-
off on a big tangent from video games.
You only need to sue on the 5th date.
Do I need to switch the No.
No,
Oh,
stop.
what-
I already said that
what's-
joke. Come on.
So
But what's the ideal first date then?
the
Ideal
well,
first
hold on.
date. Here,
Like, where do you go? Not like what happens. Like, she touches your hand, you touch her butt. Like, where do you go on the first date?
like here's what I feel, and this is just from my experience of failed first dates.
Yo,
Yeah.
preaching to the converted.
So,
Shoulder pat.
yeah. Movie theaters don't
Consolation
work
blankie.
because you can't really talk to them. Nice. taking them out to eat is okay, but if you're not a good eater or they're not a good eater, like that first impression is pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, but that's a good
messy
thing. Wait
eater.
to like, no, am I?
Like,
Do I want to sit in front of her?
Hold on.
Or him?
Like
or
there was
whatever?
one first date I went on, and this girl was straight up like, she didn't care, and so I was like, okay, cool, I feel more comfortable.
Yeah,
But I don't know. For me, one thing that
Eat pizza
works
with
out
chopsticks.
is just going to a public place where there's not too many people. That way, it's not too loud, and that way you can talk
Like
to
a
the
park.
person. It gets like a park. If they're into the drinking scene, like a bar. Something not too noisy, not too crowded, just nice. And I've had first dates at a park, just walking around and everything like that. It's been enjoyable because there's stuff to talk about while you're out there. Like you can find something to talk about while you're at the park. Like I don't know. So for me, the ideal first date would be maybe if you want to go grab a drink at a bar. If you want to just walk around, go to the park, maybe get something afterwards, pay for
if
some
you have
ice
a-
cream or something like that.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
basically kind of a keep it at a neutral setting.
Yeah.
That way you get a feel for what the other person is like.
Yeah, well,
and
that's
that
what
sort of
you
thing.
want.
Yeah, basically.
That's what you want to get.
And if you have a dog, absolutely go to the dog park with her.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
That shows that.
Yeah.
That shows
unless
you're-
they're
you're-
allergic to dogs, in which case avoid the dog park.
Well,
it's
no,
if
but
he-
you
she
should
has a dog,
have to
yeah.
know that
Yeah.
beforehand.
You're
Yeah.
like,
If she's
hey.
allergic to dog, you swipe left on that girl.
Exactly.
I mean, to me, that's one of the most important first questions to ask about a
Like,
girl
do you
before you
like
meet her.
dogs?
How do you feel about
Am I
pets
wrong
in
about
general?
that?
No,
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
not.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a cat man myself, but
But like,
Boo.
but like, it's like pets in general, like a animal companion. How do you feel about that? If it's a negative, it's like,
you're wasting our time, my lady.
if I can't have a scruffy near me, like, what is this relationship? How long can it really last at that point?
See,
I wouldn't say
Yeah,
you
you-
can't be my scruffy to a girl. It's
That's
a bad call.
Yeah.
A weird direction to take it in, my
You
man.
could be my
no, I mean the
scruffy.
pets need a scruffy.
you are my one true
Oh.
squanch.
Oh.
I would say probably the ideal thing to go do is something like mildly competitive. Again, in a more quiet scene. Like, I wouldn't say bowling, because how bowling works is just two people. One goes up, one stays back. So really you're just like,
It's not really
I look like a
conversation.
fool.
yeah. And if you suck at bowling, you're going to look like a
quit
total...
looking at me being bad at the sport.
Yeah, you're going to look like a total jerk-off. Like yeah. Doing granny shots and jump. But I
It's
say
like
putt-putt.
You can't make it go quicker in bowling either because you have to wait for it to actually
Yeah.
roll down the
Right.
lane. So you just see it going. And it's like, well, this
Or-
is already gonna be.
Or
horrible.
both fold up for them because halfway through they're like, this sucks, and they're like, yeah.
Right. But I think putt-putt's probably the most ideal because that's open air,
Mhm.
lots of talking. Like you can still do observational humor like the park. Just-
Especially if you make like a poor shot and it's like often like a comedic kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can still joke about that sort of thing. Whereas in bowling, you're just like, oh,
but at the same time, you get to learn about this person.
yeah.
Because like if they like smash you and then they're like you suck, like you're not gonna be a fun person to hang around. Like they're like a sore winners. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you went 2 over par. Looks like a little dumb bitch went 2 over par. You're like, I don't want to hang around you, lady.
Unless you're into that.
I almost left
Oh,
swiped you.
oh.
I almost left swiped you.
Or
I didn't mean to super like you.
or you learn they have a
I'm gonna get one of those a day. I said,
Like
why not? Let's.
or you learn they have a dominating disposition. So if you completely and utterly crush them, they're just like I
you
was
find out
destroyed.
if they're the dom or the sub if you utterly crush them. Or if they utterly crush you.
Sports sub.
Oh,
Hey now,
Please shoot the 3 on me.
I'm gonna 3.
I'm going to 3. and then she fouls you and you're like, I'm going to free.
And then later on in the relationship, you walk in on her and she's watching professional basketball, and you're like, "How could you?" She's like, "Man, it's not what it looks like."
and you're golfing and she wants you to hit it out of bounds and you're like, I'm
gonna
gonna tree.
birdie.
I'm gonna tree. Oh yeah. Or she wants you to beat her. I'm gonna birdie.
That's the one time you don't want to par because that's only satisfactory. It's like nothing positive about that.
And then when you're about to hit the first shot, you go, "I'm gonna tee."
Oh, pulling out the old 9-iron. I see.
All 9 irons of glory.
Oh, par. That's fine, I guess. Pulls out her phone. Texts her friend, get me out of here.
Oh god,
He's
if
only
things
par.
start going
I'm
south
suing
and
you
it's,
for
and it's the
$3.
golf scenario, it's like, yeah, our relationship's kind of in the rough right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to see what you can do to get it back on the fairway over there.
Ideally, this dates with a girl named Sandy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh god.
you use that
No.
pitching wedge.
Oh god,
You use
that
pitching
brings a
wedge.
whole new meaning to
Get out of
Sam's
that
trap.
Oh, Jesse.
I swear to God, if you grab that sand wedge, we are through.
Cut this conversation, but we should cut out sand trap and just so it'll say bleep trap
Yeah.
for comedy's sake. All right, and we're back.
Okay, so
Mysterious gap in
All right, so-
conversation is mysterious.
So,
gosh, we went on such a tangent from video games, but I love it. I love all of
dude,
this.
I want to talk about
Sports
Sonic.
Illustrated.
Okay,
dude, I
Sonic the Mofo Hedgehog.
Oh,
right?
I thought you meant like Sonic the
I
fast
don't
food
know.
restaurant.
No.
I don't know if there's been a more successful game character with like more bad titles.
Okay, there you go.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like he's Sonic. Wow, I'm referring to him as if he's real. Like Sonic is
My buddy.
technically the
it's
franchise.
such a
It's your boy
successful,
Sonic.
Yeah, it's such a successful franchise, but it has so many like just either failed or like kind of subpar games. And
Kind of
it's like,
subpar is generous.
Rolling
I'm
around. at
trying
the
to be
speed
nice.
of sound.
I mean, you know,
this
they're
is the
fun in a
company
way.
that brought to you a werehog.
Yeah. Or Night.
But like,
Well,
okay,
the night
so
idea was
how
kind
did-
of cool.
Was it though?
A little bit.
No.
how did Sonic?
Oh, sorry.
How did Sonic like do so well? Did really the first games that came on Sega, has that just carried the whole franchise through, or have there been like other games that I really don't know too much about that have really helped propel it?
I think.
Honestly, sorry. Go ahead, man. Go.
So many opinions.
Well, I want to hear what Panda has to say.
Well, honestly, I think it might have been when it got its start on the
Panda.
Genesis, like maybe the first 3 games, like up to Sonic and Knuckles, like those were what really carried the franchise because it introduced a new character and new ideas every single game, basically. Like in the first Sonic is just basically the vanilla Sonic, and then you've got Sonic 2 with Tails. You can get a second player character in there, like controlling Tails, but Sonic is still the main focus. And plus the whole idea of Metal Sonic being introduced in Sonic 2 and Sonic CD as well. So I think the older games did have the run going for a while. And then it kind of brought a new spark in with the 3D Sonic games once you hit like Sonic Adventure, like on the Dreamcast. Like that one was apparently really good. And Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, like a lot of people liked that game as well for what it did.
This guy, Pyro.
And then it kind of petered out with the Sonic Heroes business and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's a series that has survived purely on nostalgia for like the past 10 years, and Nintendo does that too, but to a more successful degree. Like whenever you got your hands on Sonic, what was that really crappy one that was like bugged to shit?
Sonic 06.
Oh, Sonic 06. Like whenever you got your hands on that, you're like, this is garbage. Like even when we get hands on a bad Zelda game, like probably one of my least favorite ones is Wind Waker. And I was still like, this is a really good game. Like, I love Ocarina of Time way more, but this is still a good game. Like, I didn't feel like I was playing a turd. Like, I got my hands on 06, and I got through like half a level. I was like, I'm not, no. I'm taking a hard stance to refuse this. Like I wish I didn't give him money. Like, because the best thing you can do is just not give him money. That's why I'm not going to go see Wonder Woman. I don't want to give DC any more money.
That's how capitalism works.
Yeah, I refuse.
Because they just kind of exhausted your kind of
My faith in the
desire
franchise.
to see. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, cause, like you said with Wind Waker, it's like even the low points for you were still really good. Like they held up to the standards that the industry had, basically. Whereas Sonic, like you get 06, and I played through a bit of it. I got up to the part where he like goes into super fast mode and like you collide with anything and you die basically.
Is that what's
It
called?
would be a shame if you
Super
could
I'm calling
go
it that at this
fast.
And I'm like, really? This is what we're doing? Like, you just touch one thing? Like, how is that supposed
How's that
to be
gameplay?
But
feasible?
you're Sonic though.
I think the hardest part for Sega is trying to introduce something new, because that's essentially what you want to do with the game. You want to do something new. You want to do something that, you know, embraces what you've built upon and also does something different, and see how the public reacts to it. It's just, from what we've seen lately, like as a kid, I loved Sonic Heroes. I was, you know, nowadays it's not very, like, I can only look at it through nostalgia goggles because I haven't picked it up since then. I love Adventure Battle 2. It's one of my favorite Sonic games. I still play it to this day because I can get it on, or I have it on my Xbox. I can play it whenever. It's great. But after a certain point, it seems like Sega just didn't want to put the effort into it. And that's what I think sort of like expedited the downfall, because they were already kind of falling, so it seemed, in the video game industry. And everybody's like, oh, Nintendo's just starting. No, Nintendo just...
And the toxic fandom doesn't really help either.
Yeah.
Because everyone in the fandom is like, hey, we want this to change, but we also want our old games back. So it's a double-edged sword where you can't really win with your design choices. Because, like, the whole Werehog thing, like, everyone loved the speed. I was like, okay, you did more of the same. That's what you wanted. But they complained about the change. And every time they put change in, people are like, oh, but when they don't put change, like, this is a lazy design game.
Exactly.
So
And
people are going to bitch either way.
Yeah, and it's trying to...
Us are so needy.
It's trying to appease the set of masses that are going to bitch less.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I guess, where Sega just kind of struck out at the plate.
Damn, this conversation is serious.
Lizard
I mean, speaking of new Sonic games, actually, so have you guys seen the
Sonic
new
Mania looks so dope, man.
Well, Sonic Mania and the new Sonic
I have not
Forces
seen
or
this.
whatever it's
The one you
called.
had the creatable characters?
Yeah. What's your
Yeah.
opinion on that? Like, so far?
I think it's gonna, like I said, the community is so toxic, but this would be like a funner way, a more lighthearted way to like incorporate fan characters and stories. I mean, a lot of people, not everyone is toxic about it. Like, there's young kids who are like, my character is part of the galaxy-saving force.
Yeah.
But then there's people like, my character, you know, skullfuck Sonic on the daily. Like, people just have different priorities, and it's hard to impress everyone. But I think the mechanics look fine.
Mm-hmm.
They know that people don't want to do like the power things or the finding stuff from Sonic Adventure 2. They just want straight up speed course that's not broken and buggy.
Right.
So that's what they're trying to give us, and hopefully it pans out.
Like, it's a little more of Sonic Generation stuff, because people love Sonic Generation.
Oh,
Like, that was a really solid
You
title.
would run and it would turn to a 3D course. Like, what is this?
Like, it goes back and forth between classic Sonic and, like, the modern Sonic.
Right.
And they did a really good job of doing that most of the time.
Right.
And I think Sega saw that, and they're like, how can we incorporate this into more and more titles? Like, give people what they want while trying to give people more new stuff that they want.
But people have already been doing the whole creative characters thing. Seriously, you guys go to Google. You guys put your name, whatever, or anyone's name, the Hedgehog, and you will find someone has drawn a hedgehog of your name. So this creative Sonic character has already been around for a long time. You know, you get to play as one, but just know, if you want to spend a good half hour to hour or 5 hours, if that's your thing, just looking on like Blank the Hedgehog, you'll find some laughing material there. A lot of cringe material too.
I just want to point out, I looked up my name, and it's trying to correct it to a different spelling of my name. So there's no results for my actual name.
Man, down with this. That's what this game is for, man. This game is for you to create your character.
I can finally create the hedgehog just for me.
Yeah, get on DeviantArt and you become him.
Yeah,
doesn't
you
even
won't
have to be a
you won't find my name, the Hedgehog, anywhere. I've tried.
To become a furry has become true.
I see you brought back A+ comedy with you.
My dream to
It
become a
went out on
foodie
lunch.
has just begun.
It went out on lunch.
Oh, speaking of lunch, then, so I found this really good recipe for like steamed pork buns. And so
Pork
Steam.
buns.
and I finally had a chance to try it the other day, and
Pork.
I failed miserably because I didn't have a steamer basket. So I'm like, okay, what can I use? So I just tried to use a smaller pot that I put inside of a bigger pot, and then tried to cover it with aluminum foil. And so whenever I opened it up, the smaller pot had fallen in and then filled with water, and it was just a complete fail. And so then I drove to Taco Bell and ate my shame because I was very sad about the pork buns.
That's always a bad feeling. Like, now that I've had to live on my own for a while, I always try to cook. And it sucks when you work like 20 minutes on something at least, and then all of a sudden you do one thing wrong that just messes it all up. Like, I'm not lying about this. Like, I'll mess something up, I'll cuss out loud in my kitchen, throw everything away, and drive to Taco Bell to eat
or sports, like, you know, like there's a lot of really, really great food dishes in Mexico, and so it amazes me how long these dishes take to make, like hours or an entire day, and then you eat them all in like 20 minutes. It's like,
Yeah.
it makes you think, was all that preparation worth it? I mean, it's great and all,
That's me,
but
yeah,
it's
that's
like, was all
exactly
this work worth, you know, just
Like, for the amount of money I saved.
no.
But then you get places like Taco Bell that are so cheap where you hardly save any money at all.
Here's kind of my view on it. Like, this is how I treat trips. Like, when I have to drive somewhere,
Yeah.
the amount of time that I spend driving. So let's say it's 2 hours here, then 2 hours back.
Right.
If I don't spend at least 4 hours at my destination, then I don't think it's worth going.
Mm.
If I'm going to be spending 4 hours on the road, I need to spend at least 4 hours.
Right,
At
at that
least, and
place.
even then, I feel weird about that. And same thing with cooking. I'm not going to spend an hour cooking something that I'll spend 15 minutes eating.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's not worth the time. I don't care. But it's kind of like torturous to me, like to cook while you're really hungry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because then you start taking shortcuts.
but when else would you cook, though? I mean, like, you're not gonna cook when you're super full. It's like, well, I better start making this giant
if you're
thing.
food prepping or something.
Yeah, a lot
I
of people
guess.
like will cook for the week while they still have a full stomach, and so that might take a couple hours. But if you take that same,
By the time you're like finished, you're hungry again. You eat your lunch. It's like, oh no, I have to start over again.
I ate Friday.
It's a vicious cycle.
I'd honestly think your
Live and
system
cook.
could apply really well in that sense, just to cook for the week. That way, you're not just getting one 15-minute meal out of it; you're getting multiple things out of it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is really hard.
Just
to
cook in
resist
bulk.
the temptation of that food, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. It's like, it's
And-
pretty good.
Well, like
This part of the
Pyro
podcast
Spartan
brought to you
said
by
over here,
Temptations.
like if you can like resist cooking on an empty stomach, you don't take those shortcuts and you don't rush the meal, and so you have less of a chance of wasting that time and accidentally cooking a faulty meal or something like that.
Good God, I wish we were sponsored by Blue Apron, because this would be like,
This
but
would
if you
be-
don't know how to cook, Shit.
Technically,
How-
Domino's
okay,
is
In
right.
our case, if you don't know how to cook, there's always, well, anything else.
Well, okay, hold on. On that note,
Damn it.
if you haven't used Blue Apron, just me personally, I highly recommend it because I got to try it for the first time and I actually really liked it. Not sponsored at all. I just really enjoyed the fact of it. I just couldn't afford it.
Yo, sell out for no money.
Yo,
But you
hey,
can get 10%
I like
off
what
if
I
you
see.
enter the coupon code.
when
That doesn't exist. Yeah.
But if you really do want to learn to cook, there's so many really good YouTube channels like Sorted Food, Green Brothers Eats. I can't even name them all off the top of my head. I'm subscribed to them and I watch them almost every day because I'm a fat piece of shit. But
Dang,
Yo.
bringing it real.
Okay, so watching like YouTube food channels or like the Food Network,
yeah,
every time it's on TV, I can't stop myself from watching. But every time I'm angry about it, I'm like, that looks fucking delicious. I'm sitting there eating like chicken tenders. Like, why?
Why can't I
Why
do
is
that?
Because like this is like a cream prawn with some cod on the side. I'm like, fuck you, guy. I want that.
It's like watching sports while you're working out. Like, that's exactly what it's like, and it kind of motivates me. It's like, I want to run that fast.
I want to be the next Dak Prescott. Oh!
Maybe VR could be
Well,
implemented
you
into
mean
this.
taking a team that was built for another player
Okay.
and totally capitalizing off
There
of
we
it?
go.
Here, try.
Ouch.
Think about this experience.
Sorry,
You're in a VR game, right? And in the VR game, you're eating food.
Food Network
You
VR.
pick up a piece of food that looks totally different, and like you pick up a
You-
breadstick, and when you bite into it, it's an egg roll. Like it's an actual egg roll, but you pick up a breadstick in game.
That's the
Right.
Matrix.
That would fuck with your
That's
head
the
so
Matrix.
hard.
But then you could
That's
solve
the
the
Matrix,
problem
though.
of wanting that food.
That's
because
not
you
the
would
Matrix,
see
that's
it,
just-
But then you have to trick yourself into tasting.
It wouldn't trick you. Your brain would probably just explode. You're like, Can't wait for the sweet and
What
just
if it,
garlicky,
blew
salty
something,
breadstick.
blew some kind of scent in your nose?
But that's the Matrix. Don't you remember the first scene in the
yeah,
Matrix
dude.
where the dude's eating like a steak and he's like, I know it's not real.
I've
but it
never
tastes
seen
good.
The Matrix, man.
What?
I've never seen it either.
What?
Same.
All right.
What?
Cool.
I'm in that boat too.
Have you seen the Matrix?
We slapped hands.
There you go. See, let's do it again because there's only two of us. Yeah.
Slap hands.
No, but Rhett and Link actually did something like that. They did a VR thing, and one person was eating a bowl of vegetables while the other person was eating a bowl of Skittles.
They also drank each other's pee. Oh god.
They have done that.
For science.
For science.
For quote-unquote science.
Yeah.
If you add forced science to anything, it
You know-
makes it less.
You know what I wish we had here in town?
Not by much.
We just got a really good Chinese restaurant, and I think it's great.
Mhm.
We don't have any other like culture represented.
Now-
I would love a really good Indian restaurant.
This is totally
Dude,
perfect.
you got two wheels? Because that seems like a fucking segue to me.
Yeah. No, I
I have a hoverboard.
I recently I made friends with somebody up where I'm living. Say it louder into the microphone. Virgil. Just go ahead and do it.
We can cut it.
I can't do it now.
Too much what? Too much pressure?
You got performance anxiety? Don't worry, man. 1 in 3 farts can't
There's too much
happen.
pressure on my bowels that's coming from you guys to like just. Yeah, anyway.
Poke 'em.
1 in 3 men can't fart on podcasts. It's totally acceptable.
But I met somebody where I'm
Yes,
living right
thanks.
now. I met somebody who comes from Bangladesh. Really sweet girl, really awesome. But she introduced me to like Indian food, like Hindu type food. And when we were hanging out, she was like, "Hey, you want to try this?" I was like, "Sure." You know, I've always wanted to try it. It was the best thing I've ever eaten, I think. It was probably the best thing I've ever eaten. It was goat curry, and it has really sharp bones in it, so you gotta be careful. But it was goat curry, naan bread, which is like it's
Oh,
like
naan's great, dude.
tortillas, but like
It's great.
I'm sorry to say this, and I know this is very deceptive to my Hispanic culture, or very bad, very like
Traitor.
betraying. Naan bread is tortillas, but way better. Like
Well,
there are some good tortillas out there.
See, now I'm like a little like, okay, so
You need to try this
no,
naan bread.
no. I've tried naan breads. They're really, really great. And like over in Mexico, when I was in Baja California, they make tortillas like from scratch. And those things, man, you can make an entire like 10,000 course meal just on eating tortillas alone without anything else. They're just that great.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd have to try, and I think that's the thing, like, because there's a lot of factory-made tortillas that.
Yeah, those
that
are garbage. Dude.
Yeah, but maybe I need to try it. But this naan bread was really good.
Dude, I wholeheartedly agree. Whenever I was up in Canada, when I was marching drum corps, I actually went to a Indian restaurant that was up there, and it was one of the better things I've had to eat while I was up there. The other thing I had the whole time was Tim Hortons, which, if you're up north, go to Tim Hortons.
Mhm.
But one of my favorite memories in marching was one of our bass drummers. I won't mention his name, but he was the
sure he
top
thanks you for
bass.
Or his social security number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gave away his position though. Good job.
555.
Make a great general.
No,
He fucked up his stealth check.
he's
Yeah.
Canadian. He's Canadian. I don't know. Does he
Hey?
have social security if he's Canadian? Anyway.
Oh,
So
Could be.
No, I'm sure they've got their own thing though.
we had a show. We had a show.
Security
sort of
social.
right by where our bass drummer's parents live, and it was his birthday, and so they brought like baklava. They brought a bunch of food, and so all of our food that day was from his parents, and oh my god, like my mouth is salivating just thinking about it. Just all the different kinds of food that were all just fresh made by the bass drummer's mom, by his dad, by his grandma, and it was just one of my favorite meals on the trip. So please, for the love of God, some people go get Indian food. But my question to you, Gator, is: was yours super spicy?
You know, it was spicy, and I asked for super spicy, but it wasn't as spicy as I would have liked it to be. But it was spicy.
Yeah, I got
But-
that same impression.
But like for me, like I'm able to handle spice a lot better than other people are.
Are
I
you?
think. Yeah, we're not getting to that yet. We're not getting to that yet because we're still having a great conversation about food.
How you?
I had sorry.
No, man.
It would be a good
got
second.
It was
comedy.
like talking
It'd be a
about like
great
Indian
segue.
food. Like it was still about Indian food. So I had a bit of a kind of bad experience. I went to San Francisco, and I was with a couple friends.
You got to be careful about which neighborhoods you go to in San Francisco.
Right, yeah.
Your butthole burned for 2 reasons.
There's a
came to the wrong neighborhood.
There's a whole different story about that because we did go to like a neighborhood we weren't planning on going to, but we were. It was the last day. We were like, we're going to go back, home. We're going to drive back home, and so like we're looking for a pizza place. And so we're looking, and I find it on, Google says there's a pizza place here. I'm like, okay, cool. So my friend asked like, what's it called? It's like, oh, it's some guy's Indian food plus pizza.
Ooh.
And that's how. And I was like,
dope.
well, I mean, there's Indian food and pizza. I haven't tried any of those. So I've tried pizza, not Indian food. So we go there, and so there's like, it's just Indian food. There's no pizza. It's like, well, where's the pizza? It's like, well, you have to order. It's like, well, I mean, I thought it was like a buffet because it said buffet. So I try.
I thought it was a buffet because it said buffet. That's a good reason.
So it's like, I mean, it was cheap. We were pretty poor. So we go and we're like, let's try it out. So there's some stuff that was like, it was interesting from it's the first time I tried Indian food, so there was a lot of different tastes that I wasn't used to. There was a lot of stuff that was really good. Naan bread was especially great, but there was some stuff that was like, if I, maybe it wasn't like the best out there in the world. Probably wasn't. This is a buffet. Buffet food tends to not be the greatest.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I want to try more of it because there was good spice. Like not spice like in hotness, but like flavors that spices that add on it.
Yeah. Well,
so
if y'all are ever in my neck of the woods, let me know.
Hey, that'll be in a couple weeks.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything out loud. I just want to tell by your facial expression.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So, anyways,
for anybody that heard that audible slap, I hit myself so hard in the head, I might have given myself a concussion.
This portion of the podcast brought to you by Dead Air. Dead Air. It's what's on.
So you mentioned talking about spice, and I think like the epitome of any good Asian, like Indian meal is the 4 aspects of the meal, which is spicy, sour, salty, sweet.
Sugar, spice, everything nice.
Chemical
These are the things the perfect curry.
I thought he was gonna go into something religious, like the 4 aspects, the 4 pillars.
No, we're not. We're the 4 pillars of Eastern cuisine: spicy, sour, salty, sweet. Whenever those are really balanced,
it goes delicious.
Oh my god!
I'll stop after I say dumpling. I'm done.
Okay, hold on. Before I go any further, I have a story about that. I have a story about you. So once we have a buffet here in town, and we were really tired one night.
You should scare your dumpling.
We were really tired one night, and we went to this buffet here in town. It's not the best thing in the world, but it was Chinese food. It was what we could get. So we sit down, we get our drinks ordered, and before the waitress walks away, completely unintentional, Mr. Bass looks up and goes, "Do you guys have dumplings?" In that enthusiastic tone. And my jaw drops, and my hand goes to my face, and I'm like, "Oh my god, did you really just say that?"
He sure did.
And she said, "Yes, we do." And then she just walked away. And then I looked at Mr. Space. He was no longer Mr. Space. He was Bob the Tomato. He was that red.
I was Mr. Regret. But, to be fair, I was being cultured and never mind.
That's staying in. That's staying in.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever me and Mr. Space hang out at his place, and
there you go,
go out, I was in your neck of the woods, and
So many woods.
your neck of the country, and we'll go eat Chinese food sometimes.
My quadrant.
And I do the thing like, how you want to get some people do before they go into the church, they kind of have to say a couple cuss words in the parking lot before they go in there.
Mm-hmm. Been there, done that.
This
morning.
I have to. Before we go in, I'll be like, "Hello, Mr. Space." Oh, how you do? And like we're in the parking lot of this place, walking up to it. I'm gonna go in and say hello. Ask him if they have dumplings, an egg roll, and he's like, "Please stop." Before you walk into those doors, for the love of God, stop.
I've
For
been
the
da-
wrong of God, huh?
I've been down this path. I know where it leads. Dumplings and regret.
And
Oh no, it's
and then-
free weary.
And then when we leave, I'm like, gracias.
Oh my gosh. So,
Oh man.
man, we went from like the 4 pillars of Asian cuisine to
Hero.
mild racism.
Mild.
Ooh.
Not spicy. Not hot. Just mild. We're okay.
Well,
we're at the yellow section of this bar, ladies and gentlemen. Well, really,
I
gentlemen.
do think we are getting close to that time, though.
Oh man.
Oh, what's with the side?
Oh boy.
So, and speaking of spice,
And nothing nice.
in our recording studio, quote unquote, we have a
Yeah.
special spice. If the handy dandy little panda will go grab it off of the shelf of power.
Man, you treat him like a personal monkey.
So,
like
I know what his
personal-
name- his-
personal panda.
His name is, but I do like to, I'm just gonna start calling him Hand Panda.
hand
Hand
panda.
panda.
Can't pay
So,
Pocket panda.
You make him
no.
panda sad.
The pocket pass.
Jesus!
puta madre.
I am so sorry.
Audio listeners, cover your ears.
Save the children!
Oh
Cut that.
jeez.
Headphone users.
Wow.
The trash can is
Okay,
right
to be fair,
behind you.
I did. Without looking, I just put my hand back and I was like, I felt something.
Don't do it again. He done did it again.
I thought for sure it went in.
That's what she said.
All right. I was about to say, let's not go too far with that, man. Let's not go too deep.
But
What you did though.
Mr. Space is just like, all right, we gotta go through with this. We gotta do this. Let's go.
Alright, so we have a Carolina Reaper powder. And for those of you who don't know, the
It's
Scoville
alright.
units are sort of the units used to measure heat. The jalapeno registers at about, I believe it's between 8,000 and 10,000. The Carolina Reaper clocks in at 2.2 million. So
It's all right.
another perspective on it is pepper spray clocks in at about 5 million. So 2 Carolina Reapers is like getting pepper spray right in your mouth.
Nice.
And our good buddy Gator has yet to try it.
I thought Mr. Space was doing this too.
I proposed a competition.
A competition, you say?
How
I
about
said-
this? We do it and then we try to make the outro.
But I proposed.
Okay, you go ahead.
All
Propose.
right. Yeah, definitely. I want 2 cups or bottles of water, and then we both do it at the same time, and then the first one to drink and break has to try to do the outro.
I like it.
You on my
love
man?
it.
Are you on my man?
Oh,
Come on,
shit.
come on.
Bring it on, my
get a
dude.
spoon.
Oh! The handshake!
A bargain has been
Go
struck.
get the small spoons. That way, like it's even.
No,
Yeah.
they can go off their hands.
Yeah, bro, little spoon me. I don't want pepper spray on my fucking hands.
And the Carolina Reaper powder. I'll be right back.
Just make sure it's like the same amount, like pepper.
Snort a
Yeah.
line of
So, you know,
Carolina
like-
Reaper.
Alright, so I tried this before.
That's where
Like,
this party
I,
gets
like
lit.
I poured some of this in my hand and like licked it, and so like it's pretty spicy, but I've had worse, honestly. I've had worse.
Like a spicy.
It's like I'm not putting
No,
that
no.
out. Well,
See,
good news.
worst experience I had. There's this
I'll do it on my hand.
there's this pepper.
You did it off your hand?
Yeah.
There's this pepper called pico de pájaro, and so you know I bit into it, and I don't know how, but my teeth hurt. Like not my gums or anything. It was my teeth. Like I felt like there was something there. It was like this teeth was like hurting me, and so like I was sweating, I was shaking. It was just awful, and so this didn't make my teeth hurt. So you know if anything makes your teeth hurt, it's probably bad. But this isn't too bad. So
Do we need to lick all of this off?
you sure
No.
do.
Oh no. We don't need to lick all this off, right?
Well, he's gonna clean his spoon, so
What are you doing? Stop
All right,
that.
stop
I gave,
that.
Whoa.
I gave Gator a little more.
It hurts my nose already. It's like 3 feet away.
So yeah,
Okay.
if he's down the entire thing, you have to down.
Why'd
too.
you move my bottle? I'm gonna need
All right.
that shit.
Who's doing the
All right,
first
hold
one?
on. I'm gonna take a picture and put it on the video.
Dun dun dun.
Whenever I upload this, I'm gonna upload it.
On the video.
All right.
So,
It looks like you have more. I'm fine with that.
Are you
Shit.
sure?
Yeah.
All right. Pyro, can you count us down?
all right, the countdown begins. Let me get a stopwatch
God.
out.
Oh, come on. Just don't be an ass. Come on.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh.
Oh, he cleaned the spoon.
Cleaned the spoon.
Mr. Space cleaned the spoon.
Playing it cool. Playing
Come
it
on,
cool.
Gator. Clean your hand.
There's still a lot on my tongue. There's a lot of peppers. Gator, could you be a bitch?
Oh, he's cleaning it.
Ah.
It's clean. It's clean. All right.
I'm Tiny Rick, bitch. I don't need no water. I gotta live. Tiny Rick, bitch. Ooh, you gotta drink some water. You gotta drink some water. You better drink some of that water. Gotta hydrate.
Don't do it. Come on. No, come on,
Hydrate.
please. No.
Hydrate.
You're so good. You're so good.
You do it, Gator.
You're so good.
You okay?
You're so good.
Your brown culture does nothing for you.
He's turning red. He's turning red.
You put the
Come
water
on,
down,
man.
though.
Do
Put down.
it.
Oh my
Do it.
gosh, I
Oh.
see the tears.
Look, so refreshing. Water.
Why are you
Don't wanna
smelling the
drink
water?
Water has those.
Aromatherapy, man. I'm trying.
Hey, look. The gringo
legend
is
of-
going with it better.
The Legend
What
of
do we-
Zelda: Ocarina of Time is about a link
Ow.
ago.
I can't. I need to keep
Look
talking.
at his spout.
If you stop talking, you aren't able to talk. It hurts so bad. Please drink.
Stop.
Hurry.
I feel like my favorite movie was Terminator 2.
Do it.
That one scene was really cool.
Which
with
one?
the
What
shotgun.
scene in?
The shotgun where he's like, he shoots a shotgun and he
Yeah.
reloads it with one hand.
Oh.
That's so rad.
Gator took
Oh.
the drink. He took the
Do the
drink.
outro.
But
BS.
why, man?
Can we get a timestamp on that?
Oh, you
That
guys
was
wimped out.
35 seconds.
That's not bad though.
Oh
I
my
got you, Chris. I'll help you out.
I can't believe it. Y'all guys wimped out.
Leave that.
Do the outro. I'm gonna get some milk.
Alright, so let's finish this up. Gator, what do you have to say?
Today's episode was brought to you
That puts the how an outro.
by the letter Y. As in, why did I do this? We thank you for listening to this podcast. As I'm looking through the tears in my eyes.
Don't touch your hand with the
Yeah, that was my right hand.
Okay.
All right. This was
SpaceBumpkin.
Space and buds.
Space and buds.
Space and destroy bugs, dude.
Space buddies. I like that.
There's a thing of ice cream in the freezer
Yeah,
as well.
sure is.
all right.
Sweet salvation.
Oh,
It's
it's not gonna last very long.
This is not impressed drizzle.
This is Pyro, and I can't stop laughing.
I'm not crying.
Drizzle,
You're crying.
Pyro, Mr. Space, and Panda, who walked in halfway. We're all saying goodbye, and I'm saying goodbye forever. Bye, everybody.